ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste to all of you today. We
Namaste.
are ready to get started with a course on Mundaka Upanishad. Generally, those days, you should imagine yourself some like 50 years back, 100 years back, how they studied our Shastras. You're in a village. Imagine you're just in a village, your native place, and it's a small village. Everybody knows each other. And how did they get exposed to all these things? A child, a boy, a girl growing up. How did they come to know all these things? Correct. And okay, came from parents, grandparents, maybe not grandparents, but somebody nearby. Maybe not somebody in the community, but somebody visiting, talking about Bhagavatam. And then Bhagavata Saptaham, they will just stay in the village and everybody surrounding villages will come. This is how they knew about Bhagavatam. No, no internet, no phone, no laptop, no computer, no Googling, no chat GPT. Correct? You have to imagine, you literally have to sit and imagine. It may not be easy to do this, but you have to imagine because you have to let go of electricity, you have to let go of a lot of things. And then you should see how did they study these things. And on top of that, teach these things to others. Correct? And so, why I'm saying all this, today we are just signing up for a course. Just like that, somebody offered on the internet. We don't know who this person is and nothing. And it's exciting and it's free. Therefore, I'll sign up. Free is important, you know. Suppose I said 2 lakh rupees, something like that. See, there are 39 students, 40 students. The number is slightly increasing. I think people are waking up to the fact that we are having a class today. I won't have any students. There's no chance. So, but those days also there was no charge. These days also following the tradition, there is no charge. But you have to really imagine, go back. And those days, they they'll be studying from whatever options they had. But suppose somebody comes to know that there is Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, there is Shastram, which talks about this Atma. There's something called Atma, there is something called Brahma, and they've been talking about it. I've heard about it. Everybody somehow comes to know that there is something like that. But you know what? If somebody wants to learn, they won't have a teacher. They won't have a teacher means what? Uh, What do you do? You can't just sit in the morning and log into a class and then go back and do your work. There's such an option was not there. I was thinking about it yesterday. What would they have done? What did my great grandparents do who became sannyasis? How did they become sannyasi? I was thinking about that. Because there's nobody to talk to about these things. I have to just visualize myself there. If you see the movie Adi Shankaracharya, you know what he does there? Somebody says, I want to study the Shastram. He immediately gives them this Kashaya Vastram, ochre robe, sannyasi Vastram. Okay, come, take it. That is how it is. You look at that movie, you just wonder, my God, that's how it is. That means what? If you're ready to study, that means you're ready to change ashrama completely. Otherwise, you can't put one leg here and one leg there. It won't work like that. That is Adi Shankaracharya's idea. Means you're qualified and now you're grown out of whatever you're doing. And we have heard stories about people just walking off. My parents and my mother used to say they just they just said, okay, bye, we're going to Kashi. The southern India is here, Kashi is out there, and there's no train, nothing. And then they just walk and walk. And that is why the Dhanam, those days, you know how Dhanam was defined. Vapi Kupa Tadakadi Devatayata Nanicha. Vapi Kupa Tadaka Adi means water bodies. You have to construct wells, you have to construct lakes, you have to construct other water bodies which catch the rainwater. Because water is needed. There's no simply open the tap, water, no such thing like that. Vapi Kupa Tadakadi. Then what? Devatayatana cha. Devatayatana means Mandirani. Mandirani means temples. Temples. Construct temples. Okay. And because and then this chowdhuries they used to call chowdhury. I used to wonder what is this chowdhury? Chowdhury. They keep talking as though everybody knows this word. I don't know this word. Please, can somebody explain this chowdhury? Today you go and ask people where is a chowdhury. They will ask which country you came from. France. You America returned, no? I think that's why you're talking this kind of language. They will say. Anyway, so chowdhury means what? For these people who are going, they just sit, they just relax, they spend the time there. Food will be given, and then they keep moving. This is how they used to get exposed, and they used to learn. They used to teach. My God, without pens and without this all this equipment, I don't know how they wrote it all down. And then today we are saying, you buy this book from Gita Press. We are saying print this book, that book, all these things we are saying. I don't know what benefit they had those days. Very difficult to imagine. Anyway, Mundaka Upanishad. Upanishad is part of the Vedas. And generally, we get exposed to the Shastram through some other texts like Prakarana Granthas, like Adi Shankaracharya's texts, or in other Sampradayas, other texts. Okay, some they will know Dakshinamurti Stotram, they will know, all this Nirvana Shatkam, they will chant all these things, so they know those words and all, they will know the meaning also. And so they know there is something like this. So they get exposed to that. Then formal study. Then Bhagavad Gita, somebody is teaching some math, they come to know that. Like this, these texts are being studied. Then they come into what is called Upanishad. Generally, even Bhagavad Gita, somebody has to teach. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. Opening a book and just reading it, they don't recommend. Our acharyas will not recommend that. And Upanishad, when you come to Upanishad, you definitely need somebody who has been taught exactly like his teacher has been taught, exactly like her teacher has been taught. And that's how it comes. That's why the Sampradaya is so important. And so that's how we are here. Many of you have been exposed in so many different ways. And you have, I saw some of the registration forms, and all of you say that you want to study the Shastram, Sanskrit. You love Sanskrit. Like this, I saw many inputs. So some of you are don't have that much background like others who've been with me for many years. So I thought I will spend a class or two to just bring everybody on the same page as this. So some introduction I will give today. Our classes are generally 1 hour to 1.25 hours, but these Upanishad classes being once a week, we somehow settle with 1 hour and 15 minutes. So 6:15 IST in the morning we start and complete or close at 7:30 in the morning. We'll talk about logistics and all that towards the end. In one of the Gita classes long ago, when I was not teaching, I was coordinating but not teaching. Somebody asked me, one of my friends, we were all, it's called home study. Every weekend we used to meet and study. And somebody asked me, Jaykumarji, wouldn't it have been better if we were born as animals? I'm talking topic about animals and all came up, and animals don't have the problems we have. Like this one question was asked. It's a legitimate question because you know where the question comes from. It's not like animals don't have problems. Go try being a dog for a day. Okay, that's why they say dogs days or something. Dog day and all this. Because nobody wants to live like that. But still, you feel like animals are better off. What is this animals are better off idea? Hey, that is because they don't have they don't have any emotional problems. Emotional problems, right? You go to Orissa, you go to the eastern coast of India, and there are times when there is the tortoise breeding season or turtle breeding season will be. I give this example sometimes. And the turtles have come to the beach where the sand is moist. They dig a hole, big hole. They go inside the hole, and then after some time they come out. And what did they do? They laid hundreds of eggs, not one egg or two egg, hundreds of eggs. And then this mother closes up all those eggs with its two, whatever you call it, legs, and then it goes back to the ocean. Then what happens after a day or two, after all the eggs become ready to hatch, they're all hatching. They're all hatching at one hole. Many turtles have laid. The whole beach is full of small turtles. Small, hard you can't even see them. Small turtles dashing to the shore. I mean, sorry, dashing to the ocean. They are on the shore. They have to go. How do they know where to go? How do they know where to go? Some programming is there. They are dashing up there. All the seagulls are all there. It's a feast for them. It is a feast. You say Diwali feast and Navaratri feast and all that. For them, this is the time to feast. And they're just, the turtle can run. This is the time this is the only time you can see a turtle run. There's no other time you will see a turtle run. Running turtle is an oxymoron. It's not, there's no running turtle. So this turtle is running. If it gets saved, it is not caught, then it enters the water. And then what happens? Nobody knows what happens. It is not going to say, nobody is caring for me. My mother left me. The mother is not going to see any baby. Hundreds of babies, mother is not coming back. The mother will never ask, where are my babies? Neither the baby will ask, my mother orphaned me. This mother, what a wretched being she is. She gave up hundreds of babies like this. American Orphan Association. We have to form an association. We have to go to Washington, D.C. because the government also is not caring for us. At least the government should do something. They don't understand our plight. Such things don't exist. Okay. No marriage ceremonies, no conducting ceremonies for children, no such thing. Okay. And no graduation parties, of course, long back, nothing. No buying a car, new graduate. I used to be shocked when I was first went to America. These guys used to offer cars 0% interest. And you just come in, walk away with the car. You don't have to pay one penny. Okay. Walk away with the car. And then some interest and all is there, whatever. Some they used to, I didn't understand the language also. It was such a shock for me. I didn't know what was going on. Basically, you come, you choose the car, you walk away. That's it. Interest will come later. And you are going to earn money. When you graduate, you're not going to just hang around doing nothing. So we can bet on you. So no such thing for the tortoise, for the turtle. And no, going to the neighbor and say, my children don't call me, they don't write to me, phones are there, cell phones are there, still they don't call. What is this? What kind of people they are in America? They don't call at all. What is this? And no such complaint at all from these turtles. They don't have a religion, they don't have a nationality. Okay. No conversions among turtles like it is happening in India. Waiting. People are waiting for Hindus wherever, whichever, schools, hospitals, convert karo. No such thing. No market share for religion. Okay. No nationality, of course. Okay. No friends, no relatives, no life insurance, no home, no home insurance, no vehicle insurance. Okay. Nothing. It comes, it lives for how many years? Turtle, they say for 50, 60 years. Some turtles live for 100, 125 years also. I've seen that. Much, no ado at all. Without any ado, it is living and it passes away. This giant of a creature which can tell us stories, what all I've seen in the ocean, in the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean. It'll tell you stories, over the 100 years, the amount of plastic has gone up by 300%, 400%. Plastic is floating all over. It could tell us that. It could tell us if it were able to talk. No such thing. Nobody notices this turtle. Neither did the turtle complain about plastics and ships and throwing water, ballast water from here, this country to that country, and then contaminating the oceans, and because of which all the what do you call that? Coral reefs are getting destroyed. Can you believe how fragile the ecosystem is? The turtle may be shocked at what's happening, but that shock is it's not the type of emotional shock we have. They just observe their behavior is instinctual, and so the human being, on the other hand, has all these issues. Issues are piling up year after year, piling up. There are paupers who are happy. There are paupers who are sad. There are billionaires who are happy. There are billionaires who are depressed and committing suicide also. There is no animal that has committed suicide. Take it from me. Don't ask me how do you know and all that. It's a homework for you. You think about it. Come back. After every class, we have a satsang. Satsang which lasts for half an hour, even 1 hour sometimes. You're welcome to continue if you have time, if you're not working, etc. You come back. And people ask questions. We debate on many topics. So I'm saying right now, there is no animal that committed suicide. Why? Because there is no emotional problem for an animal. An animal can be in severe pain, struggling all its life, but it has no capacity to ask the question, why am I suffering? What is the purpose of my life? Why should I live? Mm-mm. No animal has asked that question. These questions are reserved for very advanced species called human beings, Homo sapiens. Correct? What's the purpose of life? Is there any solution to my problems? Then karma, religion, this, that, everything. And then psychologists. You go to the bookstore. I went to the bookstore once to buy a psychology book. That is how naive I was. And I go there, in America, these bookstores are all like malls. And then you go there, and psychology book means it's not like a few books. The whole aisle is full of books. Where do you go? Without any guidance, you can't buy a book like that. So, psychology is there. So many fields, spirituality, modern spirituality, new age, this and that. Everything comes in handy. Everything is useful. Everything is useful. We need that. Correct? Need that. So, the human beings, why do human beings have these problems and not animals, if you ask? Well, human beings are self conscious. Subconscious means what? Every living being is conscious of its world around it. Even the bacteria knows what's all going on and how I have to protect myself. The bacteria also knows. The coronavirus also knows. Enough to protect itself. It knows what all it does. It locomotes. Locomotion is there and it has its own ways of survival. It doesn't need to know that there is a planet, there is moon, satellite, all that it doesn't need to know to survive. Like that, every animal also has. Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunancha Samanyametat Pashubir Naranam. Hey, there is common features between animals and human beings. Okay, what are they? Ahara, Nidra, Bhayam. I think I don't have to translate these things. Maithunam. Maithunam means reproduction. These are all common, it seems, between animals and human beings. Then what? Samanyametat Pashubir Naranam. Buddhirhi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Buddhi. This is where adhiko vishesha. This is what differentiates animals and human beings. Okay. Or in another version, dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesha. Dharmaha. There is no dharma for animal. All this righteousness, right, wrong, guilt, hurt, nothing is there for the animal. So this human being, because being self-conscious, not only makes judgments about the world around the person. Animal also can look and see what are all the threats, what are all the things. There is, it is sun is hot out there. There's a tree out there. Yeah, it's good for me to stand under the tree. It'll make me feel better. Even the cow knows that. And Shankara gives an example in Brahma Sutra Bhaashyam. And if you take a bunch of grass in your hand and go and stand in front, the cow will look at you and slowly start walking towards you. The cow knows that's a desirable thing to have. Green grass. You take a stick and stand like this, and then stand in front, the cow will not come towards you. Like that, he says. This is very obvious. We're this is inbuilt. Now, the human being, though, dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesha. And so that self-consciousness, what it does is, not only do I make a judgment about everything around me, I make a judgment about myself also. I can say things like I'm accomplished, I'm brown, I'm dark, I'm fair, I'm dark, I want to be fair. Big pursuit. I am accomplished, I want to accomplish more. Big pursuit. I worked hard and hard, I never succeeded in anything. Very sad life it is. My life is all sad. I pray that nobody is as sad as I am. This comes from self-judgment. Self-judgment. Cosmetic industry thrives. No animal wants to do that. Only the human being. That is why cosmetic industry thrives. They tell you the advertisement is this guy puts on a coat and then he's going And then some lady comes, and then she's saying, she looks at his shoulder, and the camera zooms in, and then there is a dandruff. There is a piece of dandruff there. That's it. The ad is complete. Heads and shoulders. You have to use heads and shoulders shampoo. Otherwise, this is the problem you will have. Our what's his name? Uh, he passed away. He wrote a book called Your Erroneous Zones. Wayne Dyer is his name. Wayne Dyer. He says media does one thing very well. It really tells you how bad you are, what a useless being you are, how dirty you are, how smelly you are. Until then, you are fine. Until you started watching TV, and you get all these complexes. So, perfect. Bakras. We're all bakras for the industry. And so, this self judging being, the the dog championship is there. They have not. I mean, in India, it's not. I've not seen it, but in America, it's very popular. They bring all their dogs, and each dog is groomed, and then it's competition. Who looks good, and then agility. There is a particular track, like the sports track. For human beings, dogs also have a track. They have to jump. They go through hoops, and then this and that, and finally they come. And then Tali Bajao. Finally, top three are selected. Top three dogs, 1, 2, and 3. They are made to stand on this bench. 1, 2, 3, and what happens? They're all standing, and the dogs are enjoying. They're having fun, and the tails are all wagging because this chance the dog doesn't have. So many people are watching. Dog doesn't know why they're all watching, and everybody is just doing like this. And the third prize goes to whatever this dog, and everything's happening. Now tell me, I'll ask you a very simple question. First prize dog is there, second prize is there, this third prize is there. Okay. Which dog is proud that they won a prize? No dog is proud they won a prize. They know nothing about what's going on. They're just having fun. And first prize क्या बोलते हैं यार? First, second, third. They are having fun, that's it. But guess what? The man who is standing behind the dog, the woman who is standing behind the dog with the leash, that guy is proud that my dog is number one. The guy on the third bench is sad that this guy, this this guy did not keep up to my expectations. Correct? Sad. Hey, Tera, your dog is having fun. You should be happy. You also should have fun. No, no. Next year, the chow chow food I've been giving, the beef I've been giving to this dog, I think it's not good quality. And so I have to look for a different type of food for my dog. Whatever, all going on here in the head. This is the human lot. This is the human lot. And so that sorrow is there. If you were to interview people generally randomly, any part of the world, if you ask them, what is this one problem that you want solved? God comes in front of you and then asks you, what is the one? Tell me only one problem. I can solve. I can solve many problems, but you only tell me one problem. For you, I have a lot of people. 8 billion people. I have to help, and so if you tell me 10 times 8 is 80 billion, I can't do that. You tell me one problem, I'll solve your problem. What will you? Then most likely, finally, people will say, emotional problems are there. That's sorrow. It'll all come down to that sorrow. Sorrow. Nobody wants sorrow, yet people become sorrowful. See how sad it is. We say human beings have free will. Free will. Bolo, okay, what are the things you did with your free will? Oh, I did this. I started a company. I married our 5 children. Our elders and all, the way they lived, nothing. We don't live. We have one nuclear family, no children, one children, maximum one child, 2 children. And we are saying our life is busy and all that. Yeah, talk to all these parents and grandparents. They have stories and stories to tell. So, so this they will all come down to sorrow. People of those days also would have said the same thing. People today also will say. They might say, my life is busy. The young guy might say, my life is busy and I don't have time to care for my child, 2-year-old child. I need time. That is because this guy hasn't thought through life enough. He's only talking about local problems, my house problems, my family problems. Hey, make it generic. Make it generic and tell me one problem that you want to solve. So, this problem of sorrow, avoidance of sorrow, everybody is busy. That seems to be one of the main goal of a human being. And having gone through life, decades of life, left with no other option, then Shastram is the only thing that is there. Bhagavan is the only thing that is there. Kya karo? I thought I could lead a life. Long ago, I used to have arguments with my friends when I was 25, 30 and all. I used to make statements like, God is required for people who are helpless. Some silly things like that I used to talk. There's some truth to that also. And everything is going well. Why do you need God? Why do you have to chant Lalita Sahasranam? It's going to take half an hour, 45 minutes to chant. Well, who has 45 minutes time? Please tell me. Please tell me. No, nobody has time for all these things. So I will give time to God only if I need to do that. If I'm getting stuff without asking, why do I need all these things? So then slowly after 30, 40, 50, 60, then everybody is doing this Akhand Ramayana part. They're all going, friends are all going, what is this Akhand Ramayana part? Ramayana itself with some problem is there. I don't know what Ramayana is. I heard somewhere, some serial was there. You are saying Akhand Ramayana part. Can I, yeah, come on, yaar, let's go. So, yaar, some yaar comes and takes you, pulls you along. Then you get exposed to all these things. That's how it starts. Then slowly we begin to see. So, or otherwise also, some people are, no, they are already mature enough to say that, without Shastram is my only refuge. Amekam Sharanam Raja, like that Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So, what is this Bhagavad Gita? What is this Upanishad? What exactly is the subject matter? Because none of us know these things unless we are told. So, we may have some vague ideas. Ideas will be there. Everybody has some ideas. But really speaking, why should I study the Bhagavad Gita? Why should I study the Upanishad? So we will see that as we study the Upanishad, I will give you that kind of clarity if you do not already have that clarity. Okay? So we have to be thorough with that. We don't need to know every word of the Mundakopanishad, but we need to know at the minimum what does the Upanishad offer humanity? What does the Upanishad offer me? That we must be very clear. Can't be said in one line. Line we can say things like moksha, but that is not enough. I have to define what moksha is. You have to understand what moksha is. What are the different definitions of moksha out there? All that we have to talk about. So, Purusharthas, our acharyas have analyzed our pursuit and said there are four main pursuits of a human being. Classified, our pursuits are classified under four pillars. What are they? Artha, Kama, Dharma, and Moksha. Four. Moksha. Many of you probably know these things, but I just want to make sure you know it. So, Artha means security. I must feel secure about myself. The child is holding on to the sari of the mother like this constantly. Why? It goes out and then suddenly comes running and holds on to the sari. Why? Security. That secure mother makes me feel secure. If I'm near my mother, I feel very secure. I feel comfortable. Next to my mother, I can open my mouth and talk whatever I want. But once I go there, I can't do that. Why? She provides me that. Like that, we have so many. Our house provides security. Family provides security. Children provide security. We think parents provide security to children. It's actually the other way. If you carefully think about it, I was asking myself the question: who provides whom security? Okay, physical security, wealth, and all parents, but emotional security, who provides whom? If you ask, children are they're fantastic. They're doing quite fine actually. Children provide insecurity to parents. How about that? Let's change the language a little. Children provide make parents insecure. And then they say, I don't know what they are doing. Every parent says that. I don't know, Guruji, what they are doing these days. There's I don't know. Did you talk to your child about marriage? But Guruji, we don't have those conversations. That's all. I don't know how to approach this. I don't know which generation was better off, our earlier generation or us. I don't know. Anyway, so security, artha, everything. Bring your life insurance here. Everything is part of that security aspect. Once security is granted, once you make me secure, then I have time for karma, pleasure, pleasure. And I can spend some of that money on pleasure. I can go to an ice cream parlor. I can do this. I can do that. I can go to Bali. Spend a lot of money and go to Bali. Hey, I thought you earned a lot of money for security. Are you saying that you're giving up that security? No, I'm not giving up security or anything. I can afford to do this. Yeah, so there is something called karma. And so pleasure is so important also. That's why there are people who don't have that security. They don't have time for karma. They can't go on vacations and things like that. Every day is a grind. Grind. I heard this word in America. All these words, don't think, don't. I, it's all I'm thankful for America because America taught me a lot. I'll periodically tell you the things that I learned from them. So grind. They say it's a grind. So many people's lives are like that. And then, okay, karma. Then there is something called dharma. We just saw dharma as differentiating humans from animals, correct? And so dharma has many meanings, but we will take two meanings. Righteousness, right, wrong. The idea of right, wrong is what is dharma. Human being is very sensitive to that. Human being knows it also. No, there are criminals. They steal and they kill people and all. That is okay. But the guy knows very well what dharma is. Knowing dharma very well, that is why he comes at the cover of night. Why broad daylight you do something? No, he won't do. Why? Because he knows what is right. He knows that he's doing the wrong thing. He knows he's going against the law. Everything he knows. Dharma is very clear, but we are unable to follow dharma. Some pressure is there inside that's making me cut corners all the time. Correct? And so dharma becomes very important. Dharma is not there for the animal. Animal's behavior is instinctual. Instinctual. That is why you may be meditating, but your dog barks when you are meditating. You are upset, you are furious. Dog is simply coming and wagging the tail like this. Okay, Pinky, you shouldn't do this. Wow. That's it. It has no, it's all instinctual behavior. And so, artha, kama, dharma. Dharma also means punya papam. Punya papam. Very important in our culture. Very, very important. And the idea there is every action has a result. Every action has a result. However small or however big that action is, it has a result. Two kinds of results are there. One is called drishtapalam. Drishtapalam means the visible result of the action. Visible result of the action. You went out and you did annadana. Visible result is so many people have come to, they have given you the opportunity to do the dhanam. Okay, they have given me the opportunity to do the dhanam. So visible result is what? So many mouths were fed, so many stomachs were fed, and people who can otherwise they have to struggle to get the meal. Okay, that is a visible result. Visible. Drishta palam. What is the other type of result? Shastram comes and says, there is something called adrishta palam, my dear friend. Adrishta palam means there is a result which goes into your bank account called punyam account. It goes without your knowledge, it just goes. How much goes and all you can't say. Some amount goes, and that is called punyam. It will come in handy at a different time, either in this life or in order to have a different life, that punyam can help you get a better life. Or in that next life, during that life, it can fructify, it can come in handy. Opposite of that is papa. All right. So dharma also means punya pape. Punyancha papamcha punya pape. Teretara dvandvaha. Periodically, I'll utter some words like this, and which you may wonder, what is this man talking? I thought he was. Suddenly, he said a few words I didn't understand, you might say. That is because there are some students in this class who are studying Sanskrit seriously, and they are teaching also Sanskrit. So, periodically, I will say some things which will trigger their memory. Rest of you can ignore it, blissfully ignore all these things. Okay, so punyam and papam. Dharma also means punyam and papam. Correct? And so, artha, kama, animals and human beings. Dharma, only human beings. Then Shastram says there is one more purushartha. What is purushartha? Purushaihi arthyate iti purushartha. That which is sought after by a human being is called purushartha. What is the fourth purushartha? Moksha. Much dhatu. Moksha. So, after all this is said and done, still a person wants something. You're not satisfied with all the wealth you have, all the family, they're all doing well. No, family is doing well, they're all abroad. That should make you happy. Yeah, I thought that would make him happy, but they're not here at all. I want to see them. I don't see them once in 2 years only. I see them. Sadness. So this is the problem. This is a huge thing for human beings. They're caught in something. It appears like a web. Hey, in Sanskrit we have a word for this web. It's called samsaraha. Samsaraha. Samyak sarati iti samsaraha. The person just goes from place to place in this life, and then from this life the person goes to the next life also. Sarati. Sarati means travels. Surya gets the name from that same root, Sar, Sridhatu, I think it is. And Sarati iti Surya, because constantly moving, So Surya. So that moksha becomes very important. Is there a resolution to all my problems ever going to be? My clock is also ticking. I am aging. Is there going to be a solution to this? Because now the person is wise. After 60, 70 years, the person has become wise, saying that this is all this is all great. Wealth is great, job is great, family is great, children are great, grandchildren are great. But guess what? There is some vacuum sitting here, and vacuum doesn't seem to go. That realization comes. Everything is needed, everything is useful, house is needed, wealth is needed. Wealth can buy, nothing buys like wealth. Vedanta will not make you buy anything. If in fact, if you put it in your resume, they will actually start looking at you. You won't get the job. Please don't say attending Mundaka class in your resume. It may not help you. I'm telling you. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Even your family members are already right now looking at you. What is this man? Some unknown guy announced Mundakopanishad, then Bhaashyam also, and he started. God knows what is going to happen. You don't know where he is. You don't know if he's real or he is put on some virtual imagery. And there is some chat GPT that is running here. And all I'm doing is just saying what chat GPT is saying. How do you know? How do you know I'm not doing that? All pure Shraddha only. You're just hoping that, God, I hope I made at least, because 1 hour time itself nobody has. Where is the time to attend a whole course? That too in the registration form I asked. It may go on for 1.5 years. Do you have time to attend for 1.5 years? Many people said yes. I mean, everybody said yes. Not many people. They're not going to say no. I don't have time to. so, so this is the situation we are in. Anyway, I'm getting a lot of ideas, and moksha is there. Moksha. So, what is this moksha? How can I get it? Like that, these questions we have, everybody will have. And that's why we are studying this course. So, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, these are the words we use. We don't say Moksha Vidya, no. Moksha is Phalam. The Vidya, knowledge is what? Knowledge of the self, Atma Vidya, or knowledge of Brahman. Brahman. That truth of this entire universe is Brahman. Truth of myself is Atma. What is the connection between Atma and Brahma? All this we will cover. But still, it should not simply be some theoretical stuff. Beauty is it's not theoretical because even though it appears theoretical, because who is the hero of the entire journey? The hero of the entire journey is Atma, me. So I have to be able to connect to me, myself. Then only. Otherwise, simply learning new Sanskrit words is of no use to anyone. So I'll try my best to unfold all these things along the way. And little more background. Little more background. Vedaha. Vedaha. Or in English, we say Vedas. So that's because there are four Vedas. Veda Vyasa took the whole corpus of literature that was available and divided it into four for convenience. So that each person can be given a Veda. Hey, you take care of the Rig Veda. Your family should take care of Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. Okay. So for that convenience, that's why today also we are all, Yajurvedis, Samavedis like that. They're supposed to study it and pass it on to the next generation. That was what he did, Veda Vyasa. With Jnane, the root. Every Sanskrit word it derives from what are called roots. Sanskrit roots. Dhatu, we say. Dhatu. Okay. Exactly like, I'll give you an example. Chemistry. In chemistry, somebody says water. Then water is H2O. H2O. Then somebody says glucose. C6H12O6. Something like that. They have formulas for everything. Carbon dioxide, CO2. And even big molecules, protein and all molecules are very big. Molecular weight runs in the tens of thousands. But then all of them have there are some atoms. Some atoms are there. Out of the 120 elements, only 120 elements. Every species in this universe has to be made up of one or more of these 120 elements. Correct? Like that. Like that. In Sanskrit, we have 2200 dhatus. Dhatu means those fundamental roots from which all Sanskrit words, the entire Sanskrit universe of Sanskrit words comes from. Okay. So that's why I said Vedaha means comes from the root called Vid. What is the meaning? Every dhatu has some meanings. And then the meaning of that Vid dhatu is Jnane, in the sense of knowledge. When you want to communicate something to do with knowledge, you can use the Vid dhatu and derive words from this dhatu. A dhatu is not a word. It has to be converted to a word. How do you convert a dhatu to a word? By adding some prefixes, suffixes, and all that. By making some transformation. Like CO2, you put two oxygen atoms and then put a carbon atom and then you get a molecule. It is stable. It's called CO2, carbon dioxide. It's not some theoretical entity. Carbon dioxide is very much there everywhere. Okay? Like that. Vidjnane. So, Vidanti. prapnuvanti chaturaha purushartham. Tat prapti upayanscha. Like that, there is a definition. So, vidanti prapnuvanti chaturaha purushartham. That which has the knowledge which can help me get the four purusharthas, four, not just moksha, four purusharthas is called Vedaha. Artha, I've got my degrees, I got my job, I've been earning money. I didn't know anything about Veda. Well, I don't have to know the Veda to get Artha. Security. Yeah, you know some ways, all right. But if you want more ways, then you can do all these homas and yagas, which will give you so much Aishwaryam. That is what Nachiketa's father did in the Kathopanishad. Was a great king he was, big king. But then there is a yaga called Vishwajit Yaga, where you have to just give up whatever wealth you have. What do you mean? I thought I want more wealth. You're asking me to give up? Yes, you give up all the wealth you have. You go to the streets. You have to go to the streets with a begging bowl. Really? How can that get me? It will get you. May not be in this life, but next life, you will begin competing with Indra. That's why Indra hates all these people doing Vishwajit Yaga. Because Indra is Vishwajit, or at least he's the he's the head of all the gods. And so he's watching all of us doing. If he looks at people studying Vedanta, he's very happy. You know why? These Vedanta people don't compete for all these things. So sometimes I feel we should worship Indra. Come on, keep an eye on me. Anyway, so therefore Veda says, no, come, I also have a lot of things to give you. Yeah, I don't have children, somebody says. Dasharatha said he was grief stricken. Dasharatha, this great king, son of Aja Maharaja. He was grief stricken. He said he had no children. He had to resort to the Vedas. Resort to Vedas to get children. So getting children is not easy when you don't get children, right? And so these days, they have all these clinics, infertility clinic, it's called. And our parents won't understand what you're talking. If you tell them infertility clinic, they'll be wondering, what are you talking about? You have to explain to them what it is. Not that they are not aware of it. Fertility can be a problem in any part of the world at any time. But now it seems like many people tell me a lot of stories about why it's happening. Anyway, children. Not having children, person is insecure. Then what? You have to consult people. Doctors can't help you. Then who is going to help? Veda says, I'll help you. If you have Shraddha in me, I know a way in which you can get children. So, all these are there. Vedas offers Artha, Kama, Dharma. Of course, it offers. You do all these things. You do Annadanam, you get Punyam. You do any type of Yajna. Bhuta Yajna is there. Means go help animals around you. Make their lives comfortable. They are there. They don't have a voice. You are their voice. Then you get punyam. So all this Veda is going to talk about. And so, how did the Vedas come about? Who wrote the Vedas? Well, we say you keep looking for the author of the Veda. You're welcome to look for one, but you will not find that author. You will not find it. Rishi Moolam na vicharayet, Veda Moolam na vicharayet. Just like you cannot find the source of the river, you can keep tracing the river back. Keep on tracing. But for Vedas, at least river, you can say Gangotri, Ganga comes from Gangotri and all. But somebody says, where is the water in the Gangotri coming from? You have to go underground. So the question is endless, really speaking. And then you lose the source after that, at that point. Veda, same thing. We will simply say Sadashiva Samarambham. You can't find the source. The source is Bhagavan, Ishvara himself. Okay? And so that is why we call Vedas as apaurusheyam. Paurusheyam means product of a human being. Human being's intellect and whatever is gifted to a human being, product of a human being is called Paurusheyam. Vedaha apaurusheyam. Very important word in our dharma. And then what about then how did that God make us know all these Veda mantras? Oh, there are people called rishis. Rishayaha. Rishati janati iti rishaya. Rishi. One who knows is called a rishi. What happened? What did the rishi do? How did the rishi get these things? The rishi say, we received the mantras. We were in a state of meditation and the mantras came to us. Came to us. How can mantra just come to somebody like that? Just like, just like you turn on the TV and Arnab Goswami is screaming, okay, and you turn on the TV and how the TV is not producing the show. That square box, rectangular box has nothing to do. All the rectangular box is doing is what? Receiving. Even this box is not receiving. Somebody else is receiving there and then receiving constantly and then simply displaying. Like that, we are only recipients. We are only the seers of the mantras. We are not authors of the mantras. We are mantra drashtas. We are not mantra kartas. Mantra karta means what? The author of the mantra. Vedas is a huge piece of literature, and every Vishwamitra, Bharadwaja, everybody says, I don't know, I didn't create it. Can you believe it? This is how we people are. We have so much knowledge, but then we don't claim authorship to the knowledge. All this trademark, copyright, and all, no chance. No chance. So they are called mantra drashtaraha, seers of the mantras. That is the literal meaning of that. That's what they call themselves. All right. So there are some shlokas and all which talk about these things. I don't know too much on you. Vedas also called Shrutihi. Shruyate iti Shrutihi. That which is heard is called Shrutihi. That is why that music swara, that Shruti, also is called Shrutihi. Shruti has to be proper. And in Western music, in Indian classical music, very important. That too in Tamil Nadu, you come and you make a mistake in the Shruti, they will never ever attend your concert. Oh, he's bogus, they will say, and walk away. These traditional people are too strict. That's because they don't have a veena in their hand. Don't think they don't know any music. They're all pakka. They know exactly what's going on. So Shrutihi, Shruyate iti Shrutihi. Veda also being heard. Heard. Why heard? Because we are all hearing from our teachers. Teachers heard from their teachers. They heard from their teachers. They heard from their teachers. Therefore, it is a Karna Parampara. Karna means here. Karna Parampara. Therefore, Veda is called Shruti. What does the Veda have? Veda has two portions broadly, two sections if you want to call it. One is Karma Kanda, another is called Jnana Kanda. Kanda means section. Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda, as you can imagine, provides all the things we should do and not do. Do's and don'ts are all there in the Karma Kanda. So all of dharma is there in Karma Kanda. What are the rituals you can do and what is the result of the ritual? The visible result of the ritual, Drishtapalam, and the invisible result, the punyam of that ritual. All that is talked about. A Vedic person, his life is governed by Vedika karma. We use the word karma. Karma for the ritual is not a right word. It's a poor translation of the word karma. So getting up onwards, we are supposed to chant shlokas and all. And so, really speaking, in a Vedika's life, in a Hindu's life, there is no such thing called secular. There is no religious secular division at all. Why? Because ईश्वर कहाँ है पूछेंगे तो क्या उत्तर मिलेगा आपको? You ask anybody, just some laborer is there. You ask him, கடவுள் எங்கப்பா இருக்காரு? कहाँ है? भगवान कहाँ है? You'll get the answer. You know what? He'll just smile at you. He said, what kind of question is this? You must be from Mars, I think, to ask a question like this. भगवान कहाँ पर नहीं है? That is how you will answer. What are you talking about? What are you talking? You don't know? That's what he'll say. So, when Bhagavan kahan par nahi hai, if you say, Sarvatra hai, sabhi, he is there all everywhere, every atom, he is there in every atom. Therefore, everything is sacred for a Hindu. That is why you step on a piece of paper, immediately, whether the person is Indian or not, you can figure out. All you have to do is ask them to walk over, step on a piece of paper. Then that is how you can figure out. Without looking at his passport, you can figure out he's Indian or not. And that culture is there beyond also. It has spread. And sure, if you go to Cambodia or some other place, they will do that. Malaysia and all. They might do that because that is there. What is this practice of touching? In America, they do that. The kids will ask the mother, Mom, what did you do just now? Mom, what did you do just now? Mom doesn't know what she did. Nah, but I didn't do anything. No, no, you did something like this. You did something like this. Oh, because I stepped on a piece of paper. What? You stepped on a piece and did like this? Yeah. Now, where do we go? What should mom do? Should she give a lecture to this boy? Mom doesn't know how to explain because she did not study it. She just grew in that culture. And then she comes to Guruji and says, Guruji, these children are asking all these questions. Why are you wearing buttu and all that? What is this red mark on your head? Yeah. This is a unique problem Hindus face these days. Anyway, the karma kanda is going to give this human being more ways to achieve artha, kama, and dharma. And then the Veda says that's a big portion. 95% of the Veda is karma kanda. Only the remaining 2, 3, even 2, 3, I don't know. I have to actually look at the percentage. Small fraction of the Veda is called Jnana Kanda. Veda says if you're done with this, for many janmas, this will be going on. And if you come to a point where you're asking the question, is there any end to all these things? And to this Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Mananam, I think I see the limitations of Dharma, Artha, and Kama. If somebody says that, then the Veda says, welcome. There is something called Upanishad. And that Upanishad is what we call Jnana Kanda. And that Upanishad is now not going to talk about Artha, Kama, and Dharma. It is going to talk about moksha. So we come to this moksha aspect. And so, different people will define moksha differently. Vishishtadvaiti will say moksha means you have to devote yourself to Vishnu. Vishnu or Vishnu's avatara maybe, and then like Krishna. And then after death, you will reach a place called Swarga, Vaikuntha. And then you will merge with Ishvaraha, with Vishnu. And that is moksha, they will say. Like this, you have different ideas. Every religion also talks something similar only. Advaita Vedanta is a departure from that. The departure from that. It goes along with everything. Everybody says, yes, if you are devoted to Krishna, you will go to Vaikuntha. We also will agree with that. If that is a phalam you deserve, then that is what it is going to be. Okay. And but then Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. Hey, that going, coming, etc. is also a result. You have a lot of punya cash with you, and that punya cash has to produce result. And one of the result is going to Vaikuntha, going to a place is going to a place is a result of a lot of effort you have spent. You have done a lot of annadanam. You have done a lot of activities. You have helped people. Even helping family members is a very big thing. And so the result of all that is, and the result of all your devotion and all your pure thoughts is that you will go to Vaikuntha. We also agree with that. Yes. But then we say, Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. Krishna has said that in the Bhagavad Gita. Hey, but once that cash is exhausted, the karma action is limited. Therefore, the result of action also should be limited only, should be commensurate with your action. And so, once the result is exhausted, cash is exhausted, punya cash, then what happens? Martya lokam vishanti. You have to come back to the state where you were in, which Krishna calls as Martya lokam. Because that punya lokam is not Martya lokam. There is no, the heavens are described in that manner. That there is no, what did Nachiketa say? Ashanaya pipasa. So this hunger and thirst you don't experience in Swarga. Like that boy tells us in that Upanishad. So there is no hunger, there is no thirst, nothing. Therefore, you can simply watch Ramba and Urvashi for all day. There you want no fatigue also will not be there. No fatigue, nothing. Now some of you are thinking, my God, I missed that. Where did I miss? I think, Guruji, can you tell us how I can learn more about how to go to Swarga now? Don't ask me. I'm not the right person. I'm telling you right now. I know a lot, but these things I don't know. I also don't know a lot. For that, you have to go somewhere else. Anyway, so that is called Jnanakanda, which now turns the whole tables around and says, yes, you are correct. If you have concluded that the karma is finite and karma phalam is finite, but you are looking for something more than that, nityam, infinite, because joy, happiness means infinite. The entire universe collapses. In the moment of joy, there is no division at all. In a moment of joy, there is no dvaita at all. Your idea of the world is lost completely. The whole world fuses into one glowing ball of joy. Okay. And I want to be like that all the time. Aha. That for that one has to study. Okay. So that is what the Upanishad offers us. Okay. Offers us the idea that what does Advaita Vedanta say? It says that this going, coming, etc. is all karma phalam. Karma is finite, karma phalam is finite. This finiteness is what we use the word anityam. Nityam. What you're looking for is nitya vastu. And guess what? The nitya vastu is you. Atma is nitya vastu. That Brahma is you. Atma is you. What about the essence of this universe? The reality of universe is Brahma. The reality of you is Atma. And guess what? Atma and Brahma are two different Sanskrit words, all right, but they are essentially the same entity. Correct? That is what the Upanishad is going to tell us. And it is a statement of fact also. You don't have to die and then go somewhere and then figure it out and enjoy those results. No, you enjoy the results of this knowledge here and now. That is why we have a word called Jivan Muktaha, which is not there in other mathas, not there. Other matas, not mathas, matas, not there. Why? Because moksha is always after death. Only in Advaita Vedanta, moksha is here and now. Ihaivatayirjita sargaha yesham samye sthitam manaha. The word iha becomes very important for us. Iha means here, right now, at this very moment. Yes, in this earth. Yes, in your life, in your living life. I don't know what to. I say Bhagavad Gita in daily life. Yeah, in this daily life itself, even muktihi. Muktihi is possible. So those are the ideas we are going to get exposed to. For many of you, it's not new because you've been exposed to Bhagavad Gita and things like that. And so we are going to study the Mundakopanishad. And these Upanishads and even Bhagavad Gita in our tradition, the tradition that I come from, Arsha Vidya tradition, which is Shankaracharya's tradition, these texts are not to be studied just like that. We have to rely on Adi Shankaracharya's commentary. Adi Shankaracharya becomes a big, very big link for us. That's why we say Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam, then Asmadacharya Paryanta. And so we are going to look at Adi Shankara's Bhaashyam. Some of you have studied Bhashyams before, so you know what it is. Others, it may be new, it will be new, and you'll get an exposure to what this Shankaracharya, why Shankaracharya is what he is. Why did Narendra Modi install a statue of Shankaracharya up in the north, Badrinath, I think, somewhere, Kedarnath? And so, why? So that why should get answered as we study the Upanishads, Shankara's Bhashyam, or Bhagavad Gita also, Shankara's Bhashyam, Shankara's works, are all once we study, we get insights into who Shankara is. And so we're going to get into the mind of Adi Shankaracharya. And so the typical textbook we recommend is this Gita Press textbook, okay, which many of you, all of you should have. Ideally, it's a good, simple textbook, and it's a small, it almost looks like a booklet, and so that you can have. And then this PDF file that we have sent you, it's very useful. So if you, this comes from my attending these classes in the ashram, and there some 10 years ago, and they gave us these books. Okay, you may not see it, you don't need to see the whole thing, but the way they gave it is they're all ring bound, and then the text is printed. It's what 2 line or 3 line spacing printed, so you can actually write in between the lines, and then the other side is all blank for more writing. And then so it's convenient. Some of the friends who have gone through the Kathopanishad, of course, they know what I'm saying. So that's why we sent you that PDF file. Came in very handy for us, and I still use these books to refer to the text, and so that can come in quite handy. And so you can stick around for a while. You can see whether you like my style of teaching, etc. Whether something is whether this thing is helping you. And then every once a week there is also an abhyasa class. So there is a time when you all can get together to review what was spoken in the class, and then get some practice, maybe practice chanting the mantras. So Bhadran Karnebi Shruniyama Devaha is the Shanti mantra of this Upanishad. So if you don't know how to chant it, then maybe you can come there and learn to chant it. So that Abhyasa class is there for an hour every Sunday evening. You'll see the time later, Indian Standard Time. So you can go through the process for some time, and then before you decide whether you really want to be in this course for the next year or so. And there are many people who are attending here are already my students for many years now, and so they can also guide you on the process, logistics, and this and that. And yes, I am a real person sitting in Coimbatore. Many people have seen me. They've come here. They've visited my house and all that, so they know me, my parents, and all that. So I'm not a virtual reality guy. And if you are anywhere close to Coimbatore or in Coimbatore, you're welcome. Come and meet me. But I enjoy teaching. I've been doing this since 2018, since Swamiji asked me to start teaching. And this is not a traditional thing, as I told you. The traditional people will not like this kind of teaching. You tell them I'm conducting classes online. My Guruji himself said, uh, What, you're offering moksha online? Is that what it is? Is asked. He asked me. He's making fun of me. Okay. And so it's very, we have to be very careful, friends. I'm really telling you, because this temptation to look at WhatsApp and maybe have breakfast, after all, 1 hour, quarter, 1.5 hours at home is what a waste of time. I can do multitasking. We're all multitaskers. This brain has got hooked to multitasking. So might as well, if not breakfast, I know Guruji is unfair to eat in front of Guruji if you say, okay, but it's fair to cut vegetables in front of Guruji. Like that, you might think, we don't know what all things go on. And so maybe cut vegetables along the way and keep the bread toaster and all that. Not bread toaster, the phone is in the kitchen itself. Hey, these ideas, I'm telling you right now, try to focus. This is why our acharyas don't like all this. They don't like, they hate this idea. And you tell them, you come online, Swamiji, means they don't know what's going on. I think they don't know what's going on. They think everybody is seriously watching them and all. I tell them, I've not told Swamiji yet. I tell them, Swamiji, videos will be off. They're all black screens. Look at this. Uh, Look at this. Half the class is black screen. Okay. And and I mean, everybody has Shraddha, no doubt. But the reason I tell people to don't turn off your video is, I'm also a human being. I like to see you also. After all, I'm teaching. And teaching will not work unless the teacher sees the student. I know all my students, I know very well. I know what they do. I know where they are. Everything I know. I know their family also. And so it doesn't hurt to turn on the video during this time. Otherwise, it looks very odd, and you also should feel free to turn on the video. You should feel comfortable with yourself. You should not say, oh, my video is going. We are not going to see this video is going to be on YouTube. Correct. I agree. But I don't think your faces will come on the video. Only my face will come in satsang period. Like right now, we'll have satsang. If you ask a question, yeah, because you're exposing your face, it might come on the YouTube. If you're scared of that, all right, you can keep your video turned off. But otherwise, don't think I'm getting 1 million hits like this Allahabadi. What is his name? Something Allahabadi. He's interviewing our Shankara and all. He's become very big. He's
Ranveer Allahabadi.
Ranveer Allahabadi. He's interviewing all kinds. Only Prime Minister Modi is not interviewed, I think. I think everybody else is finished off. And they also know. Jayashankar is not a simple guy. He's a smart guy. He says, if I come to this man's show, then more people will know what's about India. He also is clear. And so don't think I'm with 1.6 million, 1.6 views. If I get that itself, I'm not looking for the hits. It's meant for the class students only. In case somebody missed it, they can have the benefit of seeing the video. That's about it. So don't think you are going to become very famous when you come to my class. It's not going to happen. Nothing. Nobody is going to watch your videos, my videos, nothing. So that fear you don't have to have. All I'm saying is you don't have to have that fear. And so, I I want to see you. I mean, I'm looking at you. When I teach something, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your eyes. Already the box is small. And then I'm looking, I'm used to looking at your eyes and say, are you following me? Is there are you following what I'm saying? If you're looking like this, suppose you're drowsy like this, then what? That means what? That means, JK, you better do something. People are sleeping in your class. Oh, 50 people are attending my class. 49 people are sleeping. That's not a compliment. So I want to see the impact of what I'm doing. Are you understanding? Did you laugh at my joke? Otherwise, they used to say when I was in college, they used to say PJ. PJ means poor joke. That's what it is. Called a PJ. Napa PJ adiche like that they used to joke. So that thing is so important for a teacher to connect with the students. That's why I say keep your video open. And we are not going to take screenshots of this and publish it in our website and all. You don't have any such fear. Such things should not be there. Feel free. You have to relax in this class. Don't worry, no unit tests and and mid-semester exams and semester exams and end of course exams is not there. You can ask our friends, okay, later on once I sign off, you can freely talk to our coordinators, Veera, Narayan, and Vijay, and others, and Lakshmi, Nagesh, and all these people. They've been around for a while. They will tell everything about this. There is no exam, nothing. So I want you to relax. Relaxation is so important in our Upanishad classes, Shastram classes, because the Shastram is saying that you are free here and now. How can the stressed person accept that statement? You are free here and now means what? I must be more or less free. A lot of problems are there in my life, no doubt. But that statement is appealing to me. Yes, there has to be some truth in that statement. Correct. So anyway, if I keep talking, I'll keep talking, and it's already 5 minutes past. Normally, I won't extend like this. Don't worry. So I'm going to stop right now and then open it up for satsang. And then those who can stay, please stay back, and we'll continue a informal conversation. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ